Hey everybody, my name is Jay Martin. Thanks for watching. This is a 2v2 game. And this might be a little bit boring for most people, but this game really is about it's about relationships, and it's about inter-clan politics. I'm going to start you off with a little story. The clan that I'm in, Huntsman, we're in this tournament. And eventually we got disqualified from the tournament, kicked out of the tournament, because one of the teams that we were supposed to play kind of like politicked with the clan administrators, yada yada, and we felt pretty slighted about that. And the name of this clan is Long, or Clan Long. They're based in China. And you know, you can say, well, Jay Martin, you're part of the, you're part of Huntsman. You have a little bias. See, well, that's true. I'm going to back up my boys. I'm going to, oh, these are my boys. But the anecdotal evidence I'll give you is this fucking Clan Long, in 4 rounds of the tournament, they only played 1 match. And they got 3 of their opponents disqualified. All right, and I think that evidence alone speaks for itself. I mean, these guys feel like, in my opinion, they can't win legitimately by playing, so they resort to some, bullshit to try to get their opponents disqualified. Now, when that happened, now I wasn't involved in the tournament myself personally, but a lot of my buddies in the clan were, and they got pretty pissed off. And one guy who got pretty pissed off, his name is Rattue. Rattue's a pretty decent guy. And Rattue really doesn't like Clan Long now. He really doesn't fucking like him. And last night at about midnight, I was about ready to go to sleep. I, put the bookmark in the book, closed it. I was cleaning up, and all of a sudden the message pops up, and it's Rattue, and he says, "I got a guy from Long. I need a partner." And I pretty much felt obligated to play with him. And we played 2 games against this fucker. This is the second one. On the near side, playing as Prussia, this is Rattue. His opponent from Clan Long, Wu Jaibin, and I believe that might be the administrator of that clan, Rattue. Pretty much wanted to lay a beat down on that guy. I'm the Prussian on the far right side, and my opponent is not in that clan, but he's a friend of this guy's, and his name is Snake. And that's what we're doing. So this game is going to be about Rattue trying to drop a beat down on the Long guy. Now this is the second game. We played 2 games against this dude. Won the first game. I think Rattue's going to put that game up. And then this is the second game here. Just a real quick courtesy look over. This is what I'm doing. My opponent's British, and pretty normal builds for everybody here. So I'm just going to leave this here. And I got another story for you. Try to explain where Rattue's coming from, or where I'm coming from here. I have a dog. Her name's Alice, and she's a pretty cool dog. And Alice is a pit bull terrier. And Alice is really fucking friendly. She is like the friendliest dog of all time. She just meets everybody and instantly is their best friend. She just really likes jumping on people and looking at them and getting her head scratched. Right? But the flip side of Alice's personality is that if she decides she doesn't like something, or if she decides that she wants something to die, then she will kill that thing, and she will keep trying to kill that thing until either that thing is dead or she's dead. Like, you could probably shoot her legs off and she'd still keep coming after you. Like, she is so single-minded. When she wants to kill something, she will fucking kill it, and she will keep going and keep going, kind of like the Terminator. She will keep going and keep going, because the way her head's wired, she only sees it in black and white. She sees either you're my friend or you're my enemy, and if you're my friend, then you're going to be my best friend, and if you're my enemy, then you're going to be my worst enemy, and I will not stop until I have killed you. And that is how Alice approaches life. And I learned a lot hanging out with Alice. And I've actually kind of adopted Alice's approach to this sort of issue. And when I meet somebody for the first time, I'm a pretty laid-back guy. I think I get along with everybody well. But if you cross me, or you cross, my friends, or I think that you pull some kind of dick move, then I will not stop. And I will go from, your best friend to your worst enemy. And I was talking with Prussian Prince, or 95th, about this the other day, and the difference when you're a younger kid, like I know a lot of the people who play Napoleon and like who watch my videos are in like the 16 to 20 age bracket, or aren't kind of like all the way to mature adults. Let me give you a little tip, younger guys who are coming up. One of the big differences between adults and sort of adolescent people is adults have to put up with a lot of shit, and adults are very easily, interpret people's behaviors quite literally, and you can't do some fucked up shit and expect an adult to laugh it off. They're going to remember that, right? And you treat someone poorly, they're going to treat you poorly right back. I think a lot of younger guys might be a little flippant and maybe do some things that they later regret, but it's okay, laugh it off or whatever. But when you get older, people take things a little more seriously. They remember who you are. They interpret your behavior a little stricter, I guess is a way to put it. So if you're a younger guy and essentially adults think through their actions a little bit more before they carry them out. They think about the consequences those actions might have, because if you do something kind of rude to somebody, they're going to remember that, and they're going to take it seriously. And just like Alice, if you make an enemy, then that might be an enemy. So you want to think real hard before you do make an enemy about whether that or not that's an enemy you want to make. That's just something to think about. To pick up on the game here, this guy is conceding the flank, kind of retreating back, so Rattue is shifting his angle of attack over to the left. My side of the battle isn't very interesting. What I've done is clump my lights over here, and I'm getting some decent shots on this guy. I also have a flanking force over there. And so my middle, in my game, is kind of non-existent. I'm kind of pushing hard on these two flanks, and I'm sort of seeing how this guy is going to react. I'm trying a new build, by the way. Oh, and I wanted to mention, somebody left me a comment. They're like, oh my god, you always play Prussia. And what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks is I've decided I'm trying to focus on being a better player. And so what I'm doing is I'm just using pretty much the same build non-stop. And the same Prussian army, and I'm just trying to get really, really good at that. And once I feel pretty comfortable at that, like maybe when I can beat Kraz in a 1v1 or something with it, then I'll start switching around. But I'm really focusing my play time right now on just using the same army over and over and over. That might not be a good idea. I don't know. It might be a bad idea, but it's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm working on. But anyway, yeah. So the whole point of this game is Rat caught this Clan Long guy in the wild and was just like, let's throw down, man. I mean, let's throw down. Let's do it all the time. Another analogy comes to mind, actually. When I was in college, my first roommate, his name was Pete, really cool guy. But Pete was raised like out in the country, like rural northern Louisiana, like country boy. And Pete told me this story once. He was on the football team, and one night he's walking home from the football game. So he's like, alone. He's walking down the back country road trying to get back to his house. And these guys from his school, this one guy in particular that he didn't get along with, and that dude had about 3 or 4 of his friends with him. And they pull up, to jump out of the truck, and they surround Pete, and they're going to fight him. They're going to beat him down. And it was like 4 guys against, 1, just against Pete. And Pete looked at that dude, and he said, you know what, man? You can kick my ass tonight. There's 4 of you, there's 1 of me, right? You can kick my ass right now. But if you do that, I'm going to fight you every time I see you. Every day. Every day I'm going to fight you. And your friends won't always be there. But I will fight you every day. And the dude kind of took a second to think about that, in the story, and you sit back there and think of that. It's one thing to like talk flippantly or maybe get your cheap shot in, but the idea of having every time you see someone, they're going to make you fight them, that's one heck of a hassle, right? That's one heck of a hassle. And not only that, but I mean, and Pete could hold his own. I mean, he's a linebacker on the football team. It's not, there's a reason the guy brought 4 of his friends to help him. You know what I mean? But Pete looks at him and he says, all right, fucker, you can beat my ass right now, but you're going to have to fight me every time you see me. And the guy sits back and he thinks about that for a second. And he says, all right, it's cool. And they left. And later on, those 2 guys actually wound up becoming really good friends. And I think the reason they really became friends is that dude, in a way, sort of admired what Pete was about. He admired, Pete's, stand on that, or his philosophy. And they wound up becoming friends later, and that guy, I think, learned a little bit from Pete and was like, yeah, Pete, you're all right. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. Like, if you're Clan Long here and you fuck over, the Huntsman group, guess what? That's not going to be fun for you, because 3 months later, every time that you log on and you host the game, there will be a Huntsman player in there, and they will kill you. You know what I mean? That's not fun. And I really think that Long here really didn't think their actions through long term, right? I mean, because these poor long guys, every time they host a game and a Huntsman player sees it, that Huntsman player is going to get in there and kill them. That's exactly what happened with me and Rattue. That's exactly what's going to happen. So, it's one thing to try to get a cheap win in a tournament, but you want to, at some point, you just want to have good, sports humanship and just say, all right, man, you know what? You beat us. That's cool. Because these long guys are not going to have an enjoyable Napoleon experience because they're just going to be getting beat down every time a Huntsman player sees them. And that's a reality. And, I mean, I think at some point, it's okay to lose games. It's okay to say, hey, good game, you beat us. But to try to, find a pussy way out of to not even have to play the fucking game, that ain't cool. You know what I mean? The game does get a bit interesting at this point. This is Rattue, and they've sort of this guy is kited around, so they're facing the opposite directions. My guy at this point makes a bolt back. He just starts running back to the red line. If you look at the mini map, that'll make more sense. And a kind of funny thing happens here is I start to chase my guy, and their armies are actually going to kind of converge. And Rattue starts screaming at me like, "Do not engage the long guy. Do not engage him. I want to kill him myself. I want to kill him myself." And I was like, you got it, dude. I'm trying to do my best, but my guy's running everywhere, so I'm going to chase him. I'm not going to hurt the long guy for you, but I'm going to be chasing my guy because Rattue really wanted to take this guy out on his own. And that's only fair. I mean, I got to beat him in the previous game, but that's what's going on. But anyway, this is a little 2v2 game we got to play against Clan Long. The other thing I want to say about earlier was talking about how adults take things more seriously, maybe than adolescents do, or they remember longer. But adults are also generally really good at forgiving. So, I mean, right now these long guys are on my do not like list. But at the same time, adults are pretty reasonable. And if, this guy came back and said, we made a really immature decision about trying to get you disqualified from that tournament, and we regret it, and I'd like to make it up to you somehow, or whatever, I think that would be okay. You know what I mean? There is compromise. There's room to grow. There's room to become better people, and I think that concept resonates really well with older players too, or, kind of that makes sense to me. If somebody that you don't like at the time just comes back and says, hey, I'm sorry, that was a mistake, and I'm gonna improve that for the better in the future, that seems really reasonable to me. So it's not just all out, now I hate you forever, but it's more like, you know what, you really fucking pissed me off, and I'm going to treat you exactly the same way that you treated me, and I will not rest. I will fuck with you every chance I get. But, if you come back with a pretty sincere, thing, there you go. I really feel that way. Another kind of thing maybe I'd mention about the Huntsman clan that I'm in is that most of our members are older guys. Most of our members are adults. And I think whenever we interact with, a lot of clans are younger guys or more adolescents. And I don't want to say they're probably less mature, but I think that a lot of times the way that our clan Huntsman interacts with other clans doesn't work terribly well because, people don't get that our clan is a bunch of older adults, and older adults are going to interact with you interpersonally a lot different than, a bunch of 16-year-olds would. Or I hope that makes sense. I know all the other adults who are watching will kind of nod in your head right now, but, you can't try to get away with some cheap shit just to get a short-term advantage. You have to treat each other fairly. You have to treat each other well. And you have to expect that if you don't treat other people well, then they will repay you in kind. And I think a lot of people, when they make decisions, they don't think long-term about, well, if I do this, how will this affect me a week from now? How will this affect my standing? You know what I mean? And I think that's something that younger people really don't get a lot of the time. And if you are a younger person, a really good way to show your maturity or to to get a little smarter, to get a little more mature, is think about how you treat people. You know, the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would do to yourself. You know, you really got to keep that in perspective. And that's kind of my thought for the day. But that is us putting the beat down on Clan Long. I love the noob circle at the end. Anyway, that is that was the game, and that's Rattue putting the beat down on the Long guy. Which he was glad to get the opportunity to do. So hey, thank you for watching, and get out there and be nice to each other. And if you aren't nice to each other, then you got to expect that people are going to be really mean to you right back. So you reap what you sow. Sow good things. If you sow bad things and you try to get cheap wins, then it's going to come back to you in the end. So get out there, be good people to each other, and thanks for watching the video. I'll check you later.